Hello to my fellow High School Musical, the series fan. I'm your host, Dingus, and today we're talking about High School Musical. That's season 3 renewal, baby. Let's go! So, been a little while since I posted on this channel. It's been a few weeks because, as I said in my most recent video, that I'll be taking a little bit of a break from these videos because I just wanted to wait until you got renewed for a new season, and it finally did. So we are back on this channel every single week, Wednesdays, 3 p.m. Eastern, High School Musical, the series videos. I am hyped. But that being said, should we be excited for the new season? I'll get into that and why I am incredibly excited and also incredibly scared for the new season right after I just go through everything that we know about the new season so far and the official release. I'll leave a link to the article in the description down below. It's from Variety, and they say, and I quote, Disney Plus's High School Musical, the series, has been greenlit for a third season, which follows the Wildcats as they begin summer break away from the hallways of East High and go to a sleepaway camp, which promises to replete with campfires, showmances, and curfew-less shenanigans. We are overjoyed to be heading to the great outdoors for Season 3 and grateful to our partners and friends at Disney Plus for their continued support of our next generation Wildcats, said creator and executive producer Tim Federal. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Season 1 of High School Musical, the series, follows members of East High's Drama Club and its faculty advisors as they prepare for opening night of their school's inaugural meta-production of High School Musical, the musical. While Season 2 focuses on a performance of Beauty and the Beast. That show is inspired by the Emmy Award-winning High School Musical trilogy that propelled the careers of Zac Efron, Vanessa Hudgens, and Ashley Tisdale. Now, the teen drama is dominating Billboard charts once again and has catapulted the likes of Olivia Rodrigo and Joshua Bassett into stardom. The soundtracks for High School Musical, the series, and High School Musical, the holiday special have 1.5 billion combined streams to date. Production for the third season will relocate from Salt Lake City to Los Angeles and begin later this year. A spokesperson for Disney Plus told Variety that returning and new cast members will be announced in the near future. Alright, so just right off the bat, super exciting that this show is getting renewed. Obviously, since I'm making videos on the show, I freaking love this show. Season 1, I just adore Season 1 so much. I've seen Season 1 about 7 or 8 times. I've pretty much gotten all of my friends into it, all of my family into the show. I am probably the biggest fan of the show that you will ever meet. I love this show. I am pretty much the spokesperson for this show. Now, that being said, Season 2 was not the best. I have my full thoughts on Season 2 on this channel. I made a video on it, so go check that out if you are interested in my full thoughts. But I will just say that Season 2 was not the best season, in my personal opinion. So that being said, should we be excited for Season 3? I think there's 2 big things that make me super excited for Season 3. But then there's one big thing that makes me really, really, really scared for Season 3. But I'll talk about the good things first. The good thing, one of the big good things is, and I think you guys might be a little bit confused and mad at me for both of these things I'm about to say, but just hear me out before you go yell at me in the comments. The first good thing is the Ricky-Lily relationship. Now, you might be saying, well, why is that bad? Why is that a good thing? I mean, is that a bad thing? Lily's a villain. Lily isn't a villain. I made a whole video in defense of Lily that's coming out next week, so I'm not going to fully go into that now, but there is a lot of room for Lily to be one of the best characters on the show and be one of the best written characters on this show. I also think Olivia Rose Keegan has done a terrific job in the very limited screen time that she has, and also very, very limited material that she has had. And she could have just played this part solely evil, maniacal, villainous, but there is a good side to Lily. There is an actual person under the whole evil facade, and I think Ricky can really bring that out in her. So I'm really, really excited for that. Um, and the next thing I think is going to anger a lot of people that I'm about to say, but the second exciting thing is the likelihood of Olivia Rodrigo not being on the show anymore. This is another video that I'm going to cover more in depth later, but to sum it up, I think it's no surprise to anybody and no shocker, and I think everyone kind of could tell that in season 2, her performance really was not as good in comparison to the first one. And I think that has a lot to do with the behind the scenes drama. I don't want to get into that now because I'm pretty much going to go into that unfiltered in that video. But let's just say that it's a good thing that she's not going to be on the show anymore, because they're not going to have to try to write around the drama like they seemingly did in season 2. It really seemed like they tried to write around the drama and try to write around the whole breakup situation that happened behind the scenes. So now that she's probably not going to be on the show anymore, they're not going to have to worry about that, and they can just fully go in with the characters, which is what should have happened in the first place, but that's a whole different rant for another time. So now, with her not being on the show anymore, they can really focus fully on what matters. And what matters right now is the Ricky-Lily relationship, and really making her character good. That's one of the fears that I have, though. I'll talk about in a second. They really got to focus on that relationship because there's so much to tell there between Ricky and Lily, and also EJ and Gina. Those two relationships are the main ships, the main stories that should be focused on moving forward. I'm also excited for the fact that this is new ground for the show. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, isn't it just Camp Rock? And, well, sure, probably, yeah, and that's probably what the next musical is going to be, unless they pull the rug out from under us like they did in season 2. Yes, it could just be Camp Rock, but good. Camp Rock isn't as good as I think a lot of people think it is. I think it has to do with a lot of nostalgia, so this could actually be good. And it's just new ground for the show. So even if it is Camp Rock, we haven't seen these characters in that situation before. So it's new ground for the show, which opens up the possibilities to new stories and more freedom for the writers, which brings me into my big fear for this season: the writers. I am so scared that they're just going to do the lazy crap that they did in season 2. They just totally did not give two thoughts about the writing in season 2. They added in so much useless drama between the characters. Every episode was some BS fight between Seb and Carlos, or just everything with Ricky and Nene was just so forced. They really dragged out the Gina and Ricky plot. That was over by the finale of season 1. They really dragged that out. Just the finale was just super rushed and lazy, and it was just, the writing just hasn't been good. Let's just leave it at that. The writing has not been good in season 2. And going into season 3, I'm really nervous they're going to continue that trend. I'm really nervous they're going to go down the cliche route with Ricky and Lily, and they're going to have them all be great, and she's going to be redeemed in the eyes of everybody, she's going to be friends with everybody, and then they're going to, oh no, she stole the harness, Lily's bad, let's all hate Lily now, boo Lily, Instead, what they should do is have her be upfront with that in the beginning. That way everything is on the table, so she gets a fair chance at being redeemed, and she becomes one of the best characters on the show. Another thing I'm really scared of is they're just going to throw in the useless BS again, like they did with the relationships. We don't need every single relationship to have useless drama between them. We don't need to see Ashlyn and Big Red being at odds. We don't need to see Seb and Carlos being at odds. We don't need to see Gina and EJ being at odds. We don't need to see Ricky and Lily being at odds anymore. We don't need to see that. Sure, there can be some disagreements here and there, but this is all my opinion. But in my opinion, what made the show so good, and what made me want to come back every week was how much I loved Ricky and Nene together. It's how much I loved Big Red and Ashton together, how much I loved Seb and Carlos together, how much I hopefully am going to love EJ and Gina together. I come back every week to see them, and to see them just be adorable and cute and fun. I don't come back to see them yell at each other for stupid reasons. So I feel like it's going to be... I really hope it's not going to be that same thing in Season 3. I hope they go back to what made Season 1 so great. It was just the kids being kids. And there wasn't any... in the first episode, obviously, Ricky and Nene broke up and everything, but there were hints about them getting back together. They were just slowly building up towards that, and then they throw it all away in Season 2. So... I'm really scared they're gonna go the Season 2 route again with Season 3 and just totally be lazy with the writing. I love this show. I know I just went on a mini rant there. I do love this show, and I really want this show to be amazing again. I think Joshua Bassett deserves it. I mean the entire cast deserves it, but I think if anyone deserves it, Joshua Bassett definitely deserves it, especially with the amount of unnecessary hate that he's gotten over the past 9 months. So, for his sake, I hope this season is really good. I mean, for everyone's sake, I hope it's really good, of course. I think this season is going to make or break the show, honestly. I think if this season is like Season 2 or worse, I think a lot of people are going to stop watching the show, and I think the show might end after Season 3 because of it. But if Season 3 is... it doesn't have to be as good as Season 1, but at least just well written, which would by default make it better than Season 2, I think people are going to stick around with the show. People might come back from the show if they left the show, and I think the show might have a pretty bright future. I believe I heard that the showrunner has ideas for at least 6 seasons of the show, so... fingers crossed he gets his act together and starts to write it well, so we can get 6 seasons of this show that we all love. Production is starting later this year, which means we could get a release in July of next year again, or May of next year again. June, whenever, I forgot when it released last year. Was it May? I think it might have been May. We might get a May release next year again, which is super, super exciting. And like I said, I'll be here every week. 3 p.m. with new videos for High School Musical, the musical, the series. Let me know in the comments, guys. What are you excited about for Season 3? Are you excited? What are your predictions? What do you think? Do you share the same thoughts as me? Do you not, and why? And make sure you guys subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any of those future High School Musical, the musical, the series videos. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you next time.